We also have few photographs which we would want to show it to you, and you just give a gist of what went behind those photographs, because they say every picture speaks a million words. So we would just want to know what happened behind that moment before it was being captured.
Yeah. These are the best part of my journey because they are everything to me. Like my wife Nivedita, my two lovely daughters Karishma and Rashmika. They're called Lakshmi to us. I love having them around. They're both sportsmen, but they are themselves now finished their education. They're working, they're individual person. And they all had their childhood being in sport, coming around, watching training, going around, watching matches of whenever I go as a coach, as a manager, when I go to train people, they have been there. So it's a beautiful journey of that. Oh, this is come in Sudha magazine. I remember I was in the national camp.
This was in the year 86,
in the,
87?
I think somewhere in the mid-80s.
Okay.
When I was in the camp, those days, I would say today there is so much of coverage. In those days, the print media was the whole, they used to describe a game so nicely, the reporters, how you played or how you did not play. They would describe it so nicely and put it across. So it's just like a film where people read it of every match. So we would always
look for... So they entirely visualize what happened there.
And that was the only thing which people knew after that. There was nothing else in those days. So it was very interesting, and Sudha had interviewed me. Then after that, I was in the camp. I don't know anything about it, because you give interviews and you forget the whole thing because you're going on. Yes.
Ever since I was a little child, my parents used to take me to the basketball court and make me sit on the sidelines. I would enjoy watching my dad play and also playing with the basketball. As I grew up a little bit more, my dad gave me a tiny basketball which is used for children, and that's how I learned to play the sport. And as I grew up more, my dad became my first basketball coach. He would coach me on weekends, and on the weekdays he would take me for road running and jogging and additional basketball training to practice more on my dribbling skills and my shooting skills. I remember when I was a little girl, my dad had taken me for a HAL match, and I remember my dad wearing a green HAL jersey and playing on the HAL court and taking a layup as part of the pre-game warm-up and also playing the game. At the end of every game, I remember all his teammates would come and play with me and interact with me, which was very, very nice. As I would go all over India to play my basketball games, I would always meet somebody who knew my dad from his playing days. And they would always share such wonderful stories about his game, and it would make me so proud of being his daughter. I was very privileged and lucky to have my dad as a coach throughout my basketball career. He even taught me his infamous skyhook that whenever I used it in a game, people would recognize it and say, "Rajan skyhook." So it was always a very touching feeling for me, and I was very lucky and happy that I got to learn the sport from one of the great legends of basketball in India.
ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ only correspondence is post. So ಇವಾಗ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್, then you wait for Indian letters to come or your envelopes to come. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇದು ಬಂತು, ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸುಧಾ ಮ್ಯಾಗಝೀನ್, he has written nicely, he's made a Xerox of that. He said they have written such a beautiful article, and a lot of people in his organization also appreciated and told him. So he gave me a small motivation written in that, and he sent it to Patiala. So which is a very touching moment for me, and These are the things which player needs small motivation by the media covering how you have performed, how you have done. So that gives you that I should do still more better. Oh, this is, I would say that the photo is a very fond memory. Yes, it's for dunking. I've been one of the first player in India said to introduce dunking, and I dunked in every game after I mastered that from the 80s. And whenever I'm in that flow, there were people who used to shout and say, "Rajan, dunk," and in fact, I would also say my wife was one of the few people who would sit in the stands, and as soon as that sequence, because she was a player, she could understand.
She knew.
Immediately, Rajan, dunk. And you are a player, you train that other than the coach and somebody important you want to hear, you don't hear, because one stadium only it is packed. You hear the full stadium. As a sportsman, you have to learn that, because those days coaches always taught us that your ears should only catch the fine of what I'm saying, not for and the referee, not for what the crowd is shouting. So you get so used to it, you can have any type of noise. I remember some of them used to bring a music system, the coaches those days, and they'll put loud cheering just in the practice alli abhyasa agli anbittu, like as the stadium al clap ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. These are the
and they coached you
primitive way the coaches introduced that, because India did not have so much of technology in the 80s 70s in basketball.
So we shouldn't go by the crowd, we should cut down the chaos and the noise and be fine tuned with the coach.
Because what he's saying, he says a particular defense move, he's changing the number to the, you should have your ear on the coach, or you say switch the man, or you change your play. Adike yavaglo you should be listening to the coach. Oh, this is my first championship as a very small boy. I went with all my great encouragers are there. If I look at this, Dr. Govindraj is there, Nazar is there, Rajkumar is there, Prakash is there, out of which a few more. All these people took me as a young boy. They treated me as a kid. I have the fond memories, because these are all when you are a school ಹುಡುಗ ಆಗಿರುವಾಗ, very senior team ಜೊತೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಾಗ, you feel, you look up to them, and also you feel that they have taken you not for a jolly tour, they have taken you because they felt that you have something to do, something is in this boy, so that gave a good push.
ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸಿವಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್, ಒಂದು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೇಷನ್. ಆ ಟೀಮ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಲೆಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ to grow towards and to prosper towards something better and best for the nation.